Hello again, friends. It's great to see you here again. My name is Roy, but you can call me the Cowboy Preacher. Come over and sit a while and let me talk with you about the Lord Jesus Christ and some of the things He done to make people's lives a little better. So sit and relax and welcome. Welcome to Christian Dawn. You gotta understand the life those folks lived back then. It was a dusty, hard-scrabble existence. You had the law on your neck, the Roman heel grinding the dirt, and when sickness took hold, it didn't just take the man. It took his livelihood, his family standing, and his last sack of grain. It was ruin. So, when this carpenter from Nazareth, Jesus, started walking those dirt tracks, he wasn't just preaching. He was fixing things that mattered to a man's belly and his mortgage. He wasn't famous the way a king or a general is famous. His fame grew like a wildfire across a dry pasture, carried by the desperate, the hungry, and the ones who had nowhere else to turn. It was the fame of a solution. Take the healing. When a man was crippled, he was dead weight to his kin, stuck on a mat by the road, just hoping for a handout. Then this Jesus comes along, and he looks at the paralysis not as a great curse, but as a busted fence post that needed setting right. He'd look a poor soul in the eye and say, clear as a bell, I say unto thee, arise, and take up thy bed, and go thy way into thine house. The man gets up. Think about that. He doesn't just walk. He picks up the mat that was his whole world and walks home. That news doesn't need a newspaper. It runs faster than a spooked herd from village to village. People didn't shout because he was holy. They shouted because he was useful. He gave back a father, a breadwinner, a man who could stand on his own 2 feet and work again. His power was practical, not poetic. When he fed that multitude, 5,000 people out in a lonely place, hungry enough to be trouble, he didn't just give a speech. He saw the problem clear. Too many bellies, not enough food. All they had was 5 loaves and 2 fish. Jesus takes that meager offering, looks up, breaks it, and starts distributing. The quote tells it plain, with that dry observational quality of an honest historian. And they did all eat, and were filled. And they took up of the fragments that remained 12 baskets full. That kind of thing gets you famous quicker than any sermon. It meant he was a man who understood hunger and knew how to solve it in a way that defied all the logic of the marketplace. The miracle was in the abundance, the leftover truth that he had more than enough for everyone. The trouble, of course, was that this kind of fame was a disturbance. The common people adored him because he cut through the rules and the rituals and went straight for the need. But the religious leaders, the men who had built their whole life on being the only gatekeepers to power, saw their authority slipping. Jesus had the crowds, and the crowds meant control. A great multitude followed him, because they saw his miracles which he did on them that were diseased. The people weren't following a theological argument. They were following the sure hope of getting what they needed: health, food, and a little respect. The sheer, undeniable reality of his acts made him a celebrity, but a dangerous one. He was a beacon of hope for the forgotten, but a threat to the comfortable. His fame was earned on the back of every cured leper and every blind man who could now see the dirt road they were walking on. It wasn't the sound of the thunder that made him famous. It was the quiet, undeniable fact that he mended what was broken, and in that dry, desolate land, nothing was more miraculous than being truly fixed.